This episode of Man of Prestige, this can help you come up with something to say. 3 steps forward and 2 steps backward. So, in the previous thing I told you to say, I said real-time compliment. You could give another compliment, but you don't want to do it back to back to back because that will come off again as needy. You could do a little bit of a 3-step forward and 2-step backwards. So I should continue to ask her real-time questions. So what are you doing here? Who do you know? Maybe it's at somebody's birthday party. What do you know around here? I'm new around here. Something you can relate with in real time, right? I should continue to do that. You also want to take 2 steps backwards sometimes because that's still 1 step forward. In other words, she may ask you questions and you want to be open to share some real insights around you without giving too much. That takes me to the first thing that you can say to a girl to make her smile and make her want you. 1-word answer. 5 things to say to a girl, make her smile, make her want you. Welcome back. All right, so in this video we're going to talk about some things you could say. As usual, this is more of a art and then it's less of an exact science. It's more of an art and less than an exact science, but this can be sure close to exact science once you start to master these things as a skill set. Believe it or not, there are people that are naturally understand these things I'm sharing with you already. But I found that as we move more and more into the digital era, a lot of gentlemen think everything comes down to facts and data and statistics, and they approach life with this mindset and it backfires completely when it comes to romance. So that's why I want to share this stuff with you. So there are 5 tips I want to share with you. The 5 things that you can say to a girl and make her smile. I want you. So this first tip right here, number 5, what's your name? Okay, this is only applicable if you've never met before. Maybe you are at a social gathering or something like that, and you can simply say, what's your name? Okay, that doesn't hurt anybody. It shows a sign of interest of anything, right? Especially if you're in a matured audience, mature type of environment or gathering. It should be no issue to say, what's your name? Right? You stretch your hands out and you say, what's your name? There's some worst case scenario here. She may say, sorry, I don't shake strangers. That should tell you there's low interest, right? Or she may say, why do you want to know my name? That should also tell you there's low interest. You say, oh, never mind, I just thought of somebody, and you should obviously excuse her, right? Not excuse yourself, excuse her. There's low interest. You always need that, okay? I'm not saying that absolute interest is needed, but you don't also want to engage anybody with any level of low interest, okay? So the 4th tip that I want to share with you here, the 4th thing, all right, is if she says something like it's none of your business. I'm just talking about the worst case scenario right now, right? So I'm going to give you the 4th tip around that. Let's say she said, none of your business. Why do you want to know my name? You could say something like, give me a second, please, and you should take it away. Okay, it's a skill set. It's actually a skill set in sales, but you also can apply it when you're interacting with anybody. If somebody gives you some kind of low interest level type of answer or response, you should absolutely take it away, because anything that's readily available is going to be taken for granted even more and more so. So if somebody has shown you a low level of interest, you say, give me a second, please, and you should walk right off away. What does that do to her? It doesn't matter, as long as she's a biological being, social being, emotional being like the rest of us. It doesn't matter. That will make her be interested. Like, what was that about? Right? That would definitely build some level of interest, attraction, yes. And then doesn't mean she now wants to be a wife, but she will be interested in she will wonder what that was about, right? And it's a scientific fact that if a woman is in a space where she can wonder, it's precisely building attraction. Okay, doesn't mean she's gonna be your wife. I'm just saying, if the opportunity presents itself later on in that same day or later on in the future, she will be a lot more interested just because you took it away. It shows that you're not needy, you're not clingy, you don't really need her, you just wanted her. There's nothing wrong with that, right? All right, good. So now with that being said, the 3rd thing that you can say to her. In this case, we're assuming that she's actually offered you her name, and she asked for your name. If she offered you her name and she never asked you for her name, I will still read that as a low level of interest. Okay. However, if she says what's your name back to you, right, that shows a level of interest, and then you should absolutely give her your name and give her a real-time compliment. What do I mean by a real-time compliment? A real-time compliment is something that's happening in the present, in the moment. Part of the masculine core is that you understand that living in the moment, being present in that moment is key, and it builds attraction. So if she has a nice dress on that you authentically feel like that's a nice dress, nice shoes, I love your smile, because it's in the moment, is real-time compliment, right? So as you can see, I'm actually discouraging you from bringing preset questions to the table on what to say. I'm literally, actively, I admit, discouraging you from doing that, because we're incredible beings, we're spirits, and we have incredible radar to pick up bullshit. If you prepare the questions to come and talk to a lady, she can pick that up, she can feel it, and that's highly unattractive, because lack of confidence is it's not attractive, right? All right, good. So with that being said, let's go to the second thing that you can say to a lady to make her smile and make her want you, right? Now, this is not a thing you can say, but this can help you come up with something to say. 3 steps forward and 2 steps backward. So in the previous thing I told you to say, I said real-time compliment. You could give another compliment, but you don't want to do it back to back to back, because that will come off again as needy. You could do a little bit of a 3-step forward and 2-step backwards. So I should continue to ask her real-time questions. So what are you doing here? Who do you know? Maybe it's at somebody's birthday party. Who do you know around here? I'm new around here. Something you can relate with in real time, right? I should continue to do that. You also want to take 2 steps backwards sometimes, because that's still 1 step forward. In other words, she may ask you questions and you want to be open to share some real insights around you without giving too much. That takes me to the first thing that you can say to a girl to make her smile and make her want you. 1-word answers. Okay, if she asks you questions, you want to give her 1-word answers about yourself with a smile, with a follow-up question, because whoever is asking the question is the one leading the conversation. Does that make sense? Whoever is asking the question is the one leading the conversation, but that doesn't mean she can't ask you a question. Like I said, you want to go back to that second tip right there, 3-step forwards and 2-step backwards, right? Because you want it to be some kind of a dance with you still leading the conversation. Do not volunteer information. If she hasn't asked you for your name, let's go back to first step, right? If she has not asked you for your name, don't offer your name. Take it away. Say, hey, give me a second, please, and walk away. Don't say, hey, nice to meet you, and walk away. Actually, don't do that, okay? Say, give me a second. She's giving you a second figuratively, and you're going to walk away and take it away until another brand new opportunity in the future that's natural presents itself, and that's how you make a girl want you, and yes, potentially make her smile. You're not going to make her cry, right? But if you start with this, things can build up naturally from there, and she will feel safe and secure, and that's what a lady needs in order to be able to smile.